Listen to me, your morning is the birthplace of your destiny. You keep asking God for breakthroughs, for elevation, for success, but the truth is, the version of you that wins, that person wakes up with purpose. That person doesn't roll out of bed. They rise with intention, with hunger, with clarity. Some of you watching this right now, you feel stuck, overwhelmed, behind in life, and I'm telling you, it's not because you're not talented. It's not because you're not chosen. It's because your mornings are chaotic, and chaos kills greatness. Today, I need you to stay with me until the very end, because if you can fix your morning, you can fix your life. I'm about to show you the blueprint, and once you hear it, you'll never see your morning the same again. Let's get into it. Listen to me every single day before you answer a text, before you check a notification, before you step out into the world. There is a fight happening. And it starts the moment that alarm clock goes off. That first moment, that first decision, that first response, that's the battle that sets the tone for your entire day. Most people don't lose because they're weak. They don't lose because they're not chosen. They lose because they never win that first battle. They wake up defeated, and then they wonder why the rest of the day feels like a struggle. They begin the day with surrender hitting the snooze button, rolling over, making excuses, and that surrender multiplies. It grows. It follows them into their work, their goals, their relationships. I'll never forget a young athlete I mentored, talented kid, disciplined on the field but inconsistent everywhere else. He told me, "Et, I'm not lazy, I'm just tired. I feel powerless in the morning." I told him the truth. You're not tired, you're untrained. You're letting the morning punch you first. The next week, he made one small change. Not 10, not 20, just one. He put his phone across the room. That meant when the alarm rang, he had to get up, physically get up, and take the first step toward discipline. He told me that first morning felt like war. Not because the action was hard, but because his mind had gotten used to losing. Losing felt normal, winning felt foreign, but he did it again the next day, and again the next week. And 3 months later, that same kid wasn't late anymore. He wasn't dragging his feet anymore. He wasn't tired anymore. He was prepared, he was alert, he was locked in. He won a scholarship that season, not because he suddenly got stronger, but because he stopped losing the first battle of the day. You have to understand something. When you win the morning, you tell your mind, I run this, I run my emotions, I run my habits, I run my life. But when you lose the morning, you hand the keys of your life to comfort. And comfort has never taken anyone to greatness. Some of you wake up reacting to fatigue, reacting to stress, reacting to the past. Winners wake up acting with purpose, acting with intention, acting with identity. The first battle is not physical, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's you versus you, and the version of you that wins that first fight. That version is unstoppable. You think success starts at noon. No. Success starts when you decide to rise with discipline instead of excuses. Success starts the moment you ignore that voice saying, just 5 more minutes. Hear me clearly, your dreams don't need more wishful thinking. Your goals don't need more motivational quotes. Your life needs you to start winning the first battle every single morning, because once you win that battle, the rest of the day falls into place. And once you master that pattern, the rest of your life follows. Win the morning, win your life. Listen to me, the world is loud. Every morning, before you've even had a chance to breathe, life is already trying to pull you in 20 different directions. Notifications buzzing, messages piling up, responsibilities waiting at the door. And if you're not careful, you'll start your day reacting to everyone else's agenda while losing sight of your own. Clarity is a weapon, but most of you start your day unarmed. I met a businesswoman a few years ago, brilliant, creative, hardworking. But she was exhausted. She told me, I feel like I'm living inside a tornado. Every morning I wake up and I'm already behind. Her goals were slipping. Her passion was fading. Her confidence was cracking. Not because she wasn't capable, but because she started every day inside the noise. She woke up scrolling. She woke up answering. She woke up reacting. So I asked her one simple question: where in your morning do you exist? Not your clients, not your coworkers, not your family, you. She paused. And I could see it. She didn't know. I told her for the next 30 days, I want the first 10 minutes of your morning to belong to you. No phone, no outside voices. Just clarity, just intention, just stillness. That first morning, she couldn't sit still. Her mind raced. She said it felt like detoxing from her own thoughts. But she kept going. 10 minutes of quiet, 10 minutes of breathing, 10 minutes of asking herself one powerful question: what matters most today? And something shifted. By week 2, she told me the tornado slowed down. By week 3, she told me she felt like she was steering her life again. 6 months later, she doubled her income, not because she suddenly worked harder, but because she finally worked deliberately. Her clarity changed her direction changed her decisions, and her decisions changed her destiny. Listen to me, the enemy of greatness is distraction, the enemy of purpose is noise, the enemy of clarity is chaos. You can't build a meaningful life if your mind is scattered before sunrise. You can't expect confidence if your morning is confusion. You can't expect focus if the first thing you do is drown your brain in everybody else's problems. You don't need a 3-hour routine. You don't need a yoga retreat. You don't need a motivational playlist. You need 10 minutes to claim ownership of your mind before the world tries to rent space in it. Clarity is alignment. Clarity is direction. Clarity is power. When you start your morning with clarity, you start your day with intention instead of reaction. You start with vision instead of panic. You start with identity instead of insecurity. Greatness doesn't start with noise. Greatness starts with a quiet mind and a clear target, so tomorrow morning, before anything else, sit. Breathe, center yourself, ask one question: what matters most today? Because when you create clarity before noise, you don't just own your morning, you own your life. Listen to me, everybody wants the big win. Everybody wants the breakthrough. Everybody wants the moment that changes everything. But what most people don't understand is this: the big wins don't just show up. They're built brick by brick, day by day, through small victories that nobody sees. Momentum doesn't come from miracles. Momentum comes from discipline in the small things. I met a man years ago, a father, whose life had completely fallen apart. Lost his job, lost his confidence, almost lost himself. He told me, I can't even see a future anymore. I feel like every day is the same, heavy, dark, pointless. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't unmotivated. He was overwhelmed. When you feel like life has collapsed on top of you, even getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. So I didn't give him a long list of habits. I didn't preach about grinding 12 hours a day. I gave him one assignment. Just one. I said, tomorrow morning, make your bed. He looked at me confused, like I'd asked him to solve some impossible riddle. That's it? He asked. Yes. I said, make your bed so perfectly that even on your worst day you can look at something and say, I did that. The next morning he sent me a photo. A neatly made bed. He wrote, it doesn't seem like much, but I felt something when I did it. That something was momentum. The day after that, he made the bed again and added a 5-minute stretch. A week later, he added a morning walk. 2 weeks later, he journaled one sentence about what he wanted for his life. A month later, he was applying for jobs again. 6 months later, he wasn't just employed, he was thriving. A year later, he started a small business doing handyman work, and it grew because people trusted him. They trusted the man who learned to take pride in small tasks. They trusted the man whose discipline came from daily wins. Listen to me, his life didn't change because of one big moment. It changed because of consistency in small moments. Greatness is not built in dramatic leaps. Greatness is built in quiet, consistent steps. You want your business to grow. Start with a small morning commitment. You want to get in shape. Start with a 10-minute walk. You want confidence. Start by keeping one promise to yourself each morning. Hear me clearly. Small wins change how you see yourself. When you stack enough of them, you stop identifying with your failures and you start identifying with your progress. Small wins create momentum. Momentum creates belief. Belief creates transformation. You don't need to flip your entire life upside down tomorrow. You just need to prove to yourself for 5 minutes that you can do what you said you'd do. That's where it starts. That's where the spark comes from. That's how the fire builds. Small morning wins, big life change. Stack them and watch your entire life rise. Listen to me. Your morning energy is sacred. It's your mental oxygen. It's the fuel that determines whether you walk through the day dragging your feet or stepping into your purpose. And most people don't lose because they're not capable. They lose because they let the world drain their energy before they even take their first breath of the day. I met a young creator, talented, passionate, full of potential, but struggling deeply. He told me, "Et, I don't understand what's wrong with me. Every morning I feel empty, stressed, anxious before I even get out of bed." So I asked him, "What's the first thing you do when you wake up?" He said, "I check my phone." Right there, I knew the problem. Because he wasn't checking messages, he was checking himself against other people's lives. He was scrolling through highlight reels, comparing his behind the scenes to someone else's polished version. He was feeding his mind envy, insecurity, and noise at 7 o'clock in the morning. I told him, "You can't inhale poison at sunrise and expect your soul to breathe by noon. You're giving your energy to the world before you give anything to yourself." That hit him hard. So I gave him a challenge for the next 30 days, no scrolling before 9 a.m., replace it with 5 minutes of affirmations and 3 things you're grateful for. He said it felt weird at first. Quiet, still, uncomfortable. See, that's the thing. Chaos feels normal when you've lived in it long enough. Peace feels foreign, but he stuck with it. By week 2, he told me he felt calmer. By week 3, he felt more focused. By week 4, he said, "Ed, I feel like I got my mind back." And when he got his mind back, he got his creativity back. He started producing again. He started dreaming again. He started believing in himself again, not because his life changed, but because his energy changed. Listen, the world is not gentle. Every notification wants attention. Every demand wants your focus. Every distraction wants your peace. If you don't guard your energy, you give the world permission to drain it. Your morning energy determines your attitude. Your attitude determines your decisions. Your decisions determine your destiny. This is why you must protect your morning like your life depends on it, because it does. Your purpose depends on it. Your peace depends on it. Your success depends on it. Protecting your energy means saying, "No, you can't have me this early." No, stress doesn't get the first word. No, comparison doesn't get the first look. It means choosing intention over impulse, identity over insecurity, purpose over distraction. Some of you are one protected morning away from clarity, one protected morning away from confidence, one protected morning away from breakthrough. So tomorrow morning, before you check anything, before you respond to anyone, give your first breath, your first thought, your first attention to yourself. Protect your energy, protect your morning, protect your life. Listen to me, confidence is not magic. It's not a personality trait. It's not something you were born with or something you just hope to wake up with one day. Confidence is the result of preparation. The more prepared you are, the more powerful you feel. The less prepared you are, the more fear takes over your life. I worked with a young speaker once, brilliant mind, powerful story, incredible heart, but terrified of the stage. He came to me and said, "Et, I freeze, my hands shake, my voice cracks. I feel like everybody's staring at me, waiting for me to fail." He thought something was wrong with him. But nothing was wrong, he just wasn't prepared. I asked him, "How many times did you rehearse your speech this week?" He said, "Twice." I said, "That's why you're scared. That's not preparation. That's luck, and luck doesn't build confidence." He wanted to feel ready without doing the work that makes you ready. So I told him, your morning is your training ground. Before the world sees you, you need to see yourself. Before you speak to the crowd, you need to speak to the mirror. Before you step on stage, you need to step into discipline. I challenged him, wake up an hour earlier than usual every morning, no excuses. Practice your message 5 times before breakfast. He resisted at first because fear always resists growth, but he committed. That first morning was rough. His voice cracked, he forgot his lines, he stumbled over his words, and he said, "Ed, I'm not good at this." I told him, "You're not supposed to be good yet. You're supposed to be grinding." And he kept going. Day after day, he repeated the process. Before sunrise, before emails, before stress, he prepared. Something started changing, not in his talent, in his confidence. His voice got stronger, his delivery got sharper. His fear started to shrink, because repetition builds comfort, and comfort builds confidence. 3 months later, he called me, shaking with excitement, and I just delivered the best speech of my life. He said people stood up, people cried, people thanked him. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't shaky, he wasn't scared, because when he walked onto that stage, he had already delivered that speech 50 times in private. Listen to me, confidence isn't built on the stage, it's built in the quiet mornings when nobody's watching. It's built when you sacrifice sleep for skill, it's built when you trade comfort for consistency. Preparation is the foundation. Preparation is the armor. Preparation is the antidote to fear. You want confidence in your job, prepare in the morning. You want confidence in your relationships, prepare emotionally. You want confidence in your dreams, prepare relentlessly. Stop praying for confidence while practicing inconsistency. Stop wanting the spotlight when you're not willing to train in the shadows. You don't rise to the level of your wishes, you rise to the level of your preparation. So tomorrow morning, get up. Practice, train, study, repeat, because when preparation becomes your habit, confidence becomes your identity. And once confidence becomes your identity, there is nothing you can't conquer. Your morning is proof of how bad you want it. Listen to me, everybody says they want success. Everybody says they want to elevate. Everybody says they want to change their family's life, but talk is cheap. Words don't build legacies, wishes don't build futures. Your morning is the proof of how bad you really want it. I met a young man once, hungry, ambitious, a dreamer with fire in his eyes. He told me, "Ed, I want to break generational curses. I want to give my mother a better life. I want to be the first in my family to make it." I said, "Show me your morning." Because your morning exposes your truth. Not your mouth, your habits. He looked down because deep inside he knew the truth. His actions didn't match his dreams. He was waking up late, scrolling before planning, reacting instead of preparing, wanting greatness while living like someone who was okay with average. So I told him something he'll never forget. You don't get the life you want. You get the life you're prepared for. And preparation starts with how you wake up. The next day, he made a decision not to wake up early for me, but for himself. He set his alarm for 5 a.m. He didn't just wake up, he rose. He grabbed a notebook and wrote down his goals. He studied before anybody else in his house opened their eyes. He worked on his craft before the world asked anything of him. The first week was hard, the second week was harder. His body was tired, but his mind was waking up. His purpose was waking up. His discipline was waking up. And with every morning he chose purpose over comfort. Something started shifting in him. He wasn't just waking up early. He was waking up to his potential. He started seeing progress. He started feeling pride. He started believing in himself in a way he never had before. 1 year later, that same young man walked across a graduation stage, the first in his entire family. His mother cried in the audience. His siblings looked up to him with hope. He didn't just earn a degree, he earned a new identity. Why? Because his morning routine became his declaration. I want this. Let me tell you the truth, mornings don't lie. You can pretend during the day, you can talk big around people, but your morning tells the real story. Do you wake up with purpose or procrastination? Discipline or excuses, commitment or comfort, your morning is the scoreboard. Your morning is the mirror. Your morning is the evidence of your ambition. You say you want a better body. Show me your morning. You say you want financial freedom. Show me your morning. You say you want to change your family tree. Show me your morning, because want is not enough. Desire is not enough. Even talent is not enough, but a disciplined morning. A focused morning, a purpose-driven morning, that's the most powerful proof that you are serious about your destiny. When you own your morning, you send a message to life, I'm ready for more, and life always responds to the one who shows up first. Wake up, rise with intention, prove you want it, because your morning doesn't just start your day, it builds your future. Listen to me, your future is not waiting for motivation. It's waiting for discipline. Your greatness isn't hiding in the afternoon. It's not hiding in your comfort zone. It's hiding in your morning mindset, the decisions you make when no one is watching. When you own your morning, you build the version of you that can handle blessings, handle opportunities, and handle the life you've been praying for. I need you to commit, not next week, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's transformation starts with tonight's decision. Wake up with purpose, wake up with passion, wake up like someone who knows, if I own my morning, I can own my life. Let's go!